So today's topic is well. First of all, we have to introduce our special guest, Chris Moreff, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Moreff. Um,
Thank you. Calm down, ladies and gentlemen. Just calm down.
Me and him would do rapping in 2002, old school style in gym class.
Killing it,
It was,
getting all the ladies.
and I mean, this man is just the greatness. We just can't talk about. There's too much, and we don't have enough time.
We don't have enough time, but this man here, Mr. Schultz. I mean, I don't have enough words to say about this young man. He is a gentleman. He gets all the women, and I just want to be like him.
Thank you. You're the man. And we also have Tyler Pack here as well.
That
Fans are going nuts. Um,
especially the female ones.
And so basically today on our show, I guess we're going to talk about wrestlers and movies. Um, that'll be something exciting too. And then we'll just go over it. We'll see like what's up with it. We'll mention some movies, and then we'll just we'll have some fun with it. So you also have a podcast as well.
I don't know if I'd call it that. I'd call it more of a dog shit cast
Nice.
because it's kind of pooish. I kind of just did it by myself. I was just bored one day and was like, talk about video games, talk about the Miz being the champ, make some prank phone calls, but not that good, not that good of a show as what you guys got here.
Well, we try to talk about wrestling and stuff and how it's evolved into this nightmare
Yeah.
that's happening now. But see, the problem too is with that, it's really going to be hard to turn this around because it's everything that I've seen and predicted when I was like in ninth grade when WCW went out has happened, and no one believed me. And I was, it was almost like that guy in 9/11 saying, "Get out of the building." No one would listen. No one. I mean, I think you kind of understood what I was talking about, but Dank wouldn't listen to me.
Dang.
So
Well,
it's too late.
I'll say it right now. I was never really a big fan of WCW. I mean, I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for that, but I just didn't like the product. I mean, I like the Steiners. The Steiners were definitely the shit. I love the Steiners, and I like Flair now. I wish I would have watched him more when I was younger, because he was such a, he could do it all.
His matches against Terry Funk are pretty much what I remember the best about him.
Yeah.
Him and Terry Funk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember Terry Funk basically from EC Dub.
Same.
That's the funker.
Well, here's what we'll do too. How about we talk about what went wrong with wrestling in the 2000s, and then we'll talk about the movies.
Well, I was there firsthand at SmackDown Monday
Yeah.
Night Live, and
Yeah, you saw it.
biggest.
Did you go to that?
Unfortunately, I did. $30 down the drain.
Ah, man, I was gonna go, but I don't know, man. It was just
It's so bad. I mean, there's no there's no characters anymore. There's no originality. It's everybody from a
everybody's the same.
yeah.
The only reason I went to see was to see Edge and the new arena, and I was happy with that. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
It's just there's no. I mean, you don't have vampires and hillbillies and doctors anymore. You just have
No Doink the Clowns.
yeah, no doink. I mean,
Well, we don't really need it to be like the '90s where it's
No.
like the History Channel reality.
No, we don't need to bring back like the gobbledygook or whatever, that bullshit.
if you actually look at WWF now, it's just turned into WCW because you look at the enormous roster, the lack of direction for like almost all their people. It's really confusing, and I'm just so uninterested. Like I could care less.
I wouldn't say that. I think they have a clear direction. It's just that the execution of it's so poor, and the match quality is just deteriorated.
Yeah. I mean, matches are 5 minutes long. I mean, what the hell's that? You know what I mean?
You get a 3-hour Raw, you get an average of 17 minutes of wrestling total. That's insane.
And the women's wrestling is just anus. I mean, it's terrible.
Look at TNA and how long and how
Yeah.
much production value they put into their women's division, how long their actual matches are, and the number of moves they know. They know it's night and day. It's ridiculous.
It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, their women's division, but see, that's the difference too. Like when you look back at WCW, like they would actually wrestle, and I guess people get bored with that. But like that's a big difference from like you needed that balance because WWF can't hold the weight themselves. It stinks. It's just so watered down.
It's for
And-
kids.
They have talent. It's not like they don't have talent. They
Like,
just don't use talent.
Yeah, don't push it at all. I mean, in this decade, so much talent got wasted. I mean,
Yeah.
you could make a whole other company if the talent that got wasted this decade. And it's just it's a vicious cycle. And basically, there's two goals for WWF: keep the Undertaker around and push Triple H to the moon and screw everybody else. Like that's
Dude,
what it seems like. They do not care.
No, see,
where's the Or I'm sorry, where's Triple H been? He's
he,
still
he,
making money, but where the fuck is he?
they're bringing him back to feud with Sheamus either at the Rumble or Mania. He still has like a neck injury going on.
You don't think they'd bring him back as the general manager, or
They were supposed to do that. They're also supposed to have him be part of Nexus, but they're just gonna pick up the him and Sheamus feud again.
so? What's up with Nexus? Like, what's the deal with them? Like, I kind of faded away from it. Like, are they like out, or are they in, or just Eric because he's the talent, or what?
I'm not really sure. I think Cena was feuding with Wade Barrett. It seemed like they kind of turned against Barrett. They're just kind of doing their own thing. I'm guessing eventually they're not sure what they're going to do because the Undertaker was supposed to come back at the Royal Rumble. Now I'm hearing he's not even going to make it back till Mania, and I'm sure he's going to take them out because of Survivor Series. But yeah, it's just a big cluster. I don't know.
I'll tell you what, Cena cut a good promo when he was like about talking about leaving and shit. Like he was like tearing up. I was like, whoa. I was like, this dude is definitely an actor, you know?
I mean, as an actor, he's definitely qualified. I like him as a person. I like what he does for charity, for kids, and the military. As a wrestler,
he can't wrestle. Yeah,
a headlock from a hammerlock.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not interested. Why should I? This is the biggest problem with me. It's like, give me a reason to care. And it's like that with TNA too. I just want to go in the ring and just stop it. I want to say, ladies and gentlemen, give me 2 weeks and I'll make this better. Because no one has direction. Like, I don't know. Is Eric Bischoff or anybody paying attention? Like, no one has a clue. Like, there's nothing. Like, there's just nowhere to go. Like, and it's always the same matches. And it's always like the Dudley. Or if you watch WWF, it's always Triple H, and they're trying to push over this white guy or whatever. What's his name? Sheamus. Who cares?
Sheamus can actually.
Yeah, Sheamus had a bigger push than Goldberg, dude. He went straight to the top. Like, I mean, that was crazy, man.
And that's a good thing about WWF in a way, because they're always evolving and changing, and they never get to like that stagnant point. And that's every other company's problem. Like TNA has reached that stagnant point where we have all the leftovers from dinner, and we have no idea how to eat it.
Well, the benefit from WWE is that you have 2 different world champions to choose from. For example, if you're like me and you hate John Cena, he's not champion right now. You can look at The Miz on Raw, you have Randy Orton cheerful, or you can flip to SmackDown and watch The Undertaker and Edge like I do. Yeah.
They need to get Santino. They need to put that 10 pounds of gold on him. Seriously, I love Santino Marella. I think he is talent.
He's the funniest people I've ever seen in wrestling.
But he can work with anyone. Like, that's a wrestler to me. Like, he can work with anybody, you know?
Former Intercontinental Champion.
What's that?
Former Intercontinental Champion.
He was, yeah, he had that honky-tonk meter or something. He was trying to beat out the honky-tonk man or something. That was ridiculous. And they made him a joke, dude. They turned him into a joke. Now he's finally, like, becoming, like, a wrestler, you know? Before he was, like, a chick. He dressed up as Santina. That was ridiculous.
And that's the problem. This is a problem I noticed this decade. If you watch WWE, they never pull the trigger on talent. Like Santino Marella, John Morrison, CM Punk, Shelton Benjamin, the MVP, Mr. Kennedy. No one ever gets a belt. No one gets a big push when they're over. And then they'll get the belt or push 3 or 4 years later when you don't care.
Punk was. He was world champion twice. I mean, yeah. I think they've done a good job with him. The other ones you mentioned, they're no longer with the company for the most part, though.
But they did a crappy win. I think he beat, who did he pin? Somebody real quick. Edge real quick.
That's Money in the Bank. That's what happens. I mean, it's just they need a quick title change. They need to get a quick fix. It's like firing your coach of the NHL. It usually works out pretty well.
But they could have done better. And the same thing with Van Dam, too. No push. Booker T got kind of shafted. I mean, they tried at Mania, that didn't work, but it just seems like they don't, I don't know. I don't know if Triple H buries these people or what, but there's just no.
Like, what's up with these old, like, Booker T? Like, what's up with him? What the hell's he doing now?
He's running, like, some promotion. I think he's almost retired, too.
I think I know he has a wrestling school, but I didn't know, like, if he's, like, still doing, like, independent shit or, I don't know.
He just kind of comes and goes. I mean, see, that's the problem. Like, careers are just kind of ended randomly because there's nowhere else to go. Like, there's no territory. There's not a lot of good indie like promotions out there, so these people just die.
Dude, there's a channel on Comcast. I think it's like 160. I think it's called like TSN or something. Yeah. I could be wrong. They got like, I don't know what promotion. Like, it's this wrestling company, and like I seen Gangrel, Hardcore Holly.
Oh yeah.
They had a couple other dudes, and I was like, whoa. So this is where these dudes are. And I didn't even know the name of the promotion. It was like really, it was like worse than EC dude.
Wow.
Like the quality was ass.
Is it on every day or just like once a week?
I don't know. I'm gonna check it out right now.
Awesome.
I think
Let's see if
Hardhead is on, but I'm not. I don't think that's this. I can't remember.
there's even like a show after that. It's like chick wrestling. It's all girls, you know.
That might be that I don't know, that Spot 2's promotion where oh, that one is probably Wrestlelicious with the girls.
Yeah, I think that's what the chick thing's called. Yeah.
The guy one might be the one that Spot 2 runs where it's like this they wrestle in like Amsterdam and all these random places. Don't know for sure, but that could be that one. But yeah, I mean it's just I mean like pretty much a decade. I mean like that's other big like major promotions. Like, there's just nowhere to go. Like TNA came out, and I was kind of it's interesting because if you want to go, we'll go through like step by step. I think why this decade went into garbage. First the buyout, and then when I saw TNA, I was actually insulted when they said you have to pay for this after we haven't seen wrestling on television for like 9 months. They're gonna tell me that I got to pay $10 for their lousy pay per view like each week. I was just so uninterested.
Well, see, to me, the biggest failing of the invasion was that they had an opportunity to just do the whole thing and make it ECW because WCW at that point was so watered down that Steve
Yeah.
Austin had to defect and become in essence their world champion. So it really wasn't representative of WCW. They could have just worked them into the thing and had it be more of an ECW style invasion. The fans would have actually cared a lot more about, but they didn't do it. Could have pushed RVD, could have pushed a lot of those people earlier. I had an opportunity to do that, but they didn't, and I think that was a huge mistake.
Yeah, Invasion was the first big mistake. I think TNA's lack of being ready was the second one. I just don't think they ever had money, and it was always just a scramble just to stay alive and be on TV.
They always spent too much of it. That was the problem. They spent it
Yeah.
on the wrong things. I mean, they had the money to have been reasonably successful, but the free agents just couldn't take it seriously and didn't want to sign there. I think that's their biggest problem.
They bring in big names for like a week, and they could never like keep them, or like they could never hold up their end of the bargain. They'd always say like, "Oh, Hogan or someone's coming," and then they never show up. Macho Man, like he was there briefly. It was just awful. I also think like a lot I had to do too for WWF was The Rock leaving, coming and going.
Oh, that was the end of that. That was the end of good wrestling. I mean, that was it. Like when The Rock was done, dude, that was it. That's basically when I quit watching it for a while, and then I like came back and like past like 2 years, I've actually been like watching it, not seriously, but paying more attention to it.
You think Steve Austin being hurt too killed a lot of it? I think that.
Well, he had to retire. That was definitely a problem. They had to make some new stores, but I mean, they still had people. They had, the emergence of Edge. She became a world champion in 05.
Yeah.
You had, you had John Cena, filling the void. He's already the number 3 merchandise seller behind, Hogan and Austin now. And you had RVD become champion for a brief period of time. And you had people that were still there. It was still good, but the match quality just really deteriorated over the years, and that was the biggest problem.
It was the writing too, man. I mean, I don't know.
No writing at all, like no effort, and it just got so watered down. And every year they would lose a couple guys, like Austin would fade out, The Rock was fading out, Goldberg and Brock Lesnar left.
Do you remember the Shawn Michaels ran out of money storyline, so he had to work for JBL?
Yeah, like how dumb.
I don't think I remember that. No.
I don't want to.
Oh, that little gem was a 2.5-month waste.
And I think this decade's been just TNA not stepping up, and I think that's been a big problem too. Like they just don't have the money, they don't have the skills or the people working for them to actually make anything happen. Like we're a decade almost into this, and TNA is still nowhere even close to WWE, and it's off.
They tried out that Monday Night War thing, but that lasted like what, 2 weeks or something.
Fell on their face completely. Well, they brought in basically all they do is bring in Hogan's buddies from that Hulkamania school.
Here's I'm sorry, guy.
The sad thing is they opened the show with Hulk Hogan teaming up with Abyss, taking on Ric Flair and Styles. And the only thing they were going up against, The Undertaker was standing in the ring talking to Shawn Michaels on Raw. They lost by like 14 million viewers. I couldn't believe it. You have an actual match and a promo segment. And the promo segment wins hands down. And the match involved Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Didn't they bring back Bret Hart for it, like around that time period?
Yeah, like
yeah,
that
he was
night.
on the same show, but he was much later, in the telecast.
It was neat to see, like on like that. That was like kind of getting back to the Monday Night War thing. Like when they had that big January 4th show, you knew both of them were going to pull out some stuff. But it was kind of sad in a way because all they were doing is going back to like 10 years ago. There was no like, I haven't seen like a lot of stars been made from TNA, and if they were, they either left, quit, or they're still there in like wrestling X Division matches. It's just bad. Like,
So you said WWE reminds you of WCW. What that was? Isn't that what you said earlier?
yeah, it's kind of turning into that. There's too many people.
To me, it's more
See,
TNA.
I feel the same thing about TNA like that though.
Yeah,
Like that's turning into WCW.
it's
You
turning.
know what I mean?
Well, here's what it is. Like WWF right now is WCW 97, 98 with an enormous roster, no direction. It's just a mess. TNA
Mm.
is WCW in 2000 right now, where it's just like a windowed lost roster. There's no direction. They're trying to figure out who the hell the champ might be. Some people might get fired. Or, it's just a nightmare. And you have the same people that are writing the same garbage that was regurgitated from 10 years ago. Vince Russo needs to get out of wrestling. Come back.
Get a TV show or something. Give him like a sitcom or something. That'd be what he's good for.
I mean, it's just there's just no TNA has no ability to keep any of their stars, to make any stars, and to do anything interesting. It's always the same crap, and they always let you down consistently. And it's a shame because they're wasting time. They got Jeff Hardy as their champion, but then he's like going to jail and stuff every week. Oh God, it's terrible. And what do you do with that? How do you fix that? And I thought
I
last
don't.
they might have been able to fix something, but it just didn't. They didn't do anything really. It just got worse. I think I think Bound for Glory this year was pretty much the end of any interest in TNA. It was awful.
You want to talk about the movies now? Or
Yeah, we'll switch over, but I think like those are the big things. The invasion failing, lack of pushing talent, and really direction with both companies. There's nowhere to go. I think that's what killed this decade. It's the decade of disaster. Awful. Everybody got
For
too.
I mean, well, let me just clarify one thing real quick. For WWE, it was actually a very good decade in terms of getting people to watch the show and ratings and pay-per-view buys. But in terms of wrestling quality, that's what we're really concerned with. I mean, because WrestleMania, that was huge the last couple of years. They had some of their biggest crowds. They had people watching, the Big Show against Floyd Mayweather, stuff like that. But as far as the in-ring quality, that's been the biggest problem.
Yeah, there's
I agree.
nowhere to go here. Well, I guess on to a more positive note. Let's talk about wrestling movies. Wow. Hasn't been a lot of good ones.
There's been some gems. I mean,
Yes.
you could forget Body Slam. That's a
Body
comedy
Slam.
genius. That is an awesome movie.
With,
See, I feel like an idiot. I don't think I ever seen that.
Oh, it's from the 80s. Don't feel bad. It's a very isolated film. Very few of us have actually seen it, but Roddy Piper's in it, and one of the Samoans, and
well, if you go on YouTube, it's on there. Yeah, it's Rowdy Piper and one of the Islanders, the Samoans, or whatever the hell they are, against the Barbarian and this other wrestling guy's name. I can't remember his name right now. But basically, the two bad guys are managed by Captain Lou, and Rowdy Piper and this Samoan guy are managed by one of the guys from the A-Team. The guy just looked back here. I don't remember his name. Who cares? Huh? I think
Good.
Dix or something. Yeah, and it's really they do rock and roll wrestling and promote all over the country. Then they have like the big main event. It's god awful, but it's fun to watch.
I definitely gotta check that out. Shit, if Piper's in that, man, shit, gotta
Yeah.
check that out.
I mean, it's pretty fun. There's a lot of cameos too by actual wrestlers that you actually want to see in the movie, but aren't Ric Flair and Bruno.
It's funny about like talking about like wrestlers in movies. Like, I don't know if you guys ever seen like Jingle All the Way. Did you guys ever see that?
Yeah, remember that one?
mm-hmm.
Dude, the Big Show's in there. He's the big Santa.
He's gonna deck your halls, bub.
I mean, like, dude, like even in like Suburban Commando, you can see Brutus the Barber Beefcake, and I think the other dude's the Undertaker.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's just, I don't know. It's just weird, like just noticing that shit. Like nowadays, you know what I mean? You watch it, it's like, whoa, that's that motherfucker right there.
Yeah,
I remember Undertaker was in an episode of X-Files. He played essentially himself, and the person told him to go to hell. He said, "I will, but not alone," and then hit him with a shovel and killed him.
Nice.
Right.
He didn't give him a tombstone pile driver.
No, he didn't. He just grabbed a shovel and killed the guy.
There's just other wrestling movies where these guys, it's so awful, but there's a lot of wrestlers in it. They have to become like this tag team, and they're either like a Russian tag team or like this American patriotic tag team. It was really rare. I saw it on eBay once when I was just going through random tapes. There's my afternoon right there. But I can't remember what the name of it was. But there was a lot of good cameos from wrestlers. In that. I'll have to look that up. I would say another big movie though would have to be that whole Beyond the Mat. Yeah, that was
Oh,
pretty.
excellent.
It
The
was
movie's it's not even really a movie. It's more like a documentary.
documentary. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's great.
there's pretty much three categories of like wrestling movies. Like it's a documentary, one about wrestling with characters and different stuff like that. Then there's like the cameo one where there's wrestlers in movies for like
Yeah,
purposes. But I mean, Beyond the Mat I thought was good. It just seemed kind of one sided though in a way. 'Cause they
just against the wrestling business. Like it was just all about like how bad it is.
yeah, very negative. Like I mean, they put Jake the Snake, they threw him under the bus.
New Jack.
New Jack was kind of odd too. They kind of just I don't know, it was weird, and it was like it was pretty much all about like Jake the Snake, Terry Funk, and McFoley the whole show. I mean, that's basically all it was. Throwing a little vintage
Yeah,
on the side.
it's pretty cool. They had that. Yeah, they did have that little segment just about Terry Funk, which was cool, man.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if he's still going today. I swear I think he's still going. He's got to be.
Well, I mean, he'll probably. I mean, you're gonna find him and Flair dead in the ring.
Seriously,
Your hearts just can't hold on anymore.
the Funker.
He's a good wrestler. He's a good actor too. He's been in a lot of movies. He's in Roadhouse.
Oh, really?
He was
Yeah.
in Roadhouse?
Yeah, he's
Does he
in.
play does he play the one that they fired, the bouncer that they fired?
Yeah.
I
that's
always
Terry Funk.
wondered that. I never
Yeah.
knew if that was him or not.
Oh, it was Terry Funk, all right. He was in there. And we also, I guess, would have to talk about too that movie, The Wrestler. That was another one they really put a real negative spin on it.
Yeah. It was basically like what happens when you're at the top at one time and then like when you're in the independent. You know what I mean? Like how you could be at top at one time and then you just go straight to the bottom. Shit, Necro Butcher was in that.
Yeah. Ernest the Cat Miller was the one guy he fought in the end.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Do you ever remember Ernest the Cat Miller, the one guy who used to wrestle? He was like the cat or
He was in
whatever.
WCW for a long
Yeah,
time.
he fighted.
Nah. I feel bad, like, because you guys definitely know a lot more than me, dude, about wrestling.
He used to say,
I'll make
"My mama." Remember that?
I'll make that statement right now. You guys definitely know a lot more. Plus, I don't know, a lot of my time, like I said, I skipped out on a lot of wrestling. You know, like I missed out on basically all of WCW. You know, which sucks. You know, but
Because
I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it at the time. You know, now I like. You know, I watch Flair. I'm like, shit, man, fuck. I wish I'd have seen that live. You know.
there's a lot of good stuff. I mean, some of those matches alone, it's just like, I mean, some of them are like 40 minutes are going there. It's good.
Yeah. But anyways, what other good wrestling movies are there? I mean, Ready to Rumble, that movie sucked.
Oh boy, that was like an epic tragedy. I remember like waiting to see that come out. Like, I'm like, man, I want to go see that. It looks pretty fun. Because that was what? I think we were in 8th grade when that came out.
Yeah,
Or
but you know what? If it's Saturday afternoon and you have nothing else to do, I mean, aside from Furious, that is the perfect Saturday I don't got shit to do movie. I mean, you could just sit there and watch Paul Walker and Too Fast, Too Furious, or you could watch Ready to Rumble, and you'll still have just as good of a time.
Like,
Now, did David Arquette win the belt like
He did.
in WCW before that movie or after that movie?
It was actually, it was right when the movie actually debuted. He
God.
won it that May, so it was like right along the time when they actually like aired it because it was like a big publicity stunt to get.
No, yeah, of course.
Totally ruined the credibility of the organization, but I mean, like I understand what they were doing. It was like a big promo type thing and a big publicity thing, and it did help, but it really killed their belt from a storyline perspective. You didn't have to have them win the belt; they could have just refereed.
By the way, WWE decided to capitalize on that and throw one last clod of dirt onto the grave of WCW 2 weeks ago. They had Randy Orton actually fight David Arquette and put him through a table.
Really?
And they mentioned that he was a former WCW champion, so apparently they're not going to let that go.
Oh wow.
Another one.
Knucklehead. They chose him Knucklehead.
Another thing we could talk about too, though.
Knucklehead, I never seen that. I ain't see that yet.
Plus, we also have wrestlers that did major movies, starring roles that weren't about wrestling. We had The Rock and the Scorpion King. We had Andre and the Princess Bride. We had Cena and the Marine. We had, honestly, I would have much rather seen Ted DiBiase Sr. in the Marine too, but I guess I'm the only person.
What? That's another big thing too. Like WWF, like they always try to be like a movie and stuff, so they're actually making their own movies now.
And See No Evil, that wasn't
Do you
bad.
think that's a good idea? Because they're all flops. Like none of them ever
No,
go
well,
anywhere.
that's not necessarily true. The Marine did very well for itself. See No Evil actually was, by horror movie standards, a success.
Were they box office successes?
The
Now?
Marine was.
Okay.
12
Everything else-
Rounds was not.
Now that's one where they kidnap his girlfriend, right?
Or they kill her, yes.
It's like a yeah. They all like most of them.
The only reason I would have seen that movie is because of Camaro, and I really had no desire to see it otherwise.
Like that goes on to like Vince McMahon's thing too, where he likes to branch out in things, and they're always a big disaster and failure, but he still says he did it, and they're a success.
Well, not necessarily.
XFL,
Movies
bodybuilding.
they're kind of a push. I mean, you can't say it's a failure, you can't say it's a huge success.
I think like box office, like draw, they're bad, but like watching it on DVD, they're okay. And
Speaking of a terrible wrestling movie, there's one called WrestleManiac where Rey Mysterio kills.
Oh, it's a horror movie, ain't it?
Yeah. Wow.
Rey Mysterio wrestling in the decade is a horror movie. But that's
it's terrible.
Know what I'm doing next Halloween? Watching that. I think Brandon should too. No, he's not gonna. Never mind. Oh man. Yeah,
where is Brandon at? What happened though?
He's actually producing our show this evening.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's about all for the movies. I don't think there's really anything else that. What are we missing here? I feel like we're missing one thing. Well, I guess you could say the Bret Hart Wrestling Behind the Shadows. That was like a documentary film.
That was pretty good. I like that.
That was cool. That kind of gets
cool.
like the whole conspiracy theory about Bret Hart. Where did he really know that was going to happen?
Yeah, it was cool. He was wearing a mic at the same time, like he was talking to Vince about it, and they recorded that shit. That was pretty cool, actually, hearing that. Hearing Vince like Vince he's a dick, man, but he's all about business, So
I mean, I'm the only person that I think would defend Vince McMahon because I understand him having to do that because contractually he had every right to keep that title until a certain date, and he could have theoretically taken it to WCW and thrown it in the trash can. I mean, they kind of had to do it.
Well, as a wrestler, as Bret being a wrestler, Vince should have just said, okay, you know what? You win the belt, you give it back to us, you do a speech, this, that, and the other. And Bret should have just been like, okay, well, if Vince doesn't want me to have the belt, then me being a wrestler, that's part of the job. I'll just, work.
Well, if anything,
I mean?
It was actually his decision not to drop the belt in Canada. He didn't want to lose in Canada. That would be like Shawn Michaels not wanting to lose in the United States. I mean, that's just, you can't have any control over that. If you have to change titles, you change titles. You can't just keep it because you don't want to lose in your home country.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, Vince should have just been like, okay, you know what? Let him win it. And then Bret, what Vince said to him, he should have just been like, okay, I'm going to work. I'm just going to lose it, this, that, and the other. Collect my $1 million I made and out of here. They'll make a mess of me at WCW.
They sure did too. Wow, did they ruin him? That made no sense when he came over. Like, he was a strong advocate for them. And then, like, a month or two later, he joins Hulk Hogan. Makes no sense. Very done. The end of your career.
I'll tell you what, a wrestler who I really like now, it's kind of off the subject, but I'm really getting into is Larry Zbyszko, dude. He's the man, dude.
He was great.
Seriously, dude. He's just awesome, dude. His interviews are hilarious, and he can fucking work, man.
You have to actually watch this Shea Stadium show. It's him and Bruno in a cage. Really good.
He said Bruno's his idol. Like, that's like his dude, that was the dude that he wanted to be like, and, that was the dude he looked up to, He got to wrestle his idol. Ain't that crazy?
That's cool. Which Zbyszko do you like? Do you like the AWA one or the WCW one? Or like?
I see, that's what I mean. I didn't watch. I was too young for AWA, and I didn't watch WCW. I got into them like recently. You know what I mean? Okay. And I mean, I knew about him. It wasn't like I didn't know who dude was. It was just, thank God for YouTube. That's all I'll say. Thank God for YouTube.
Hey, Schultz has all the videos at home, so he actually they had this. He was with Arn Anderson as the Enforcers. That was a good tag team. Him and Arn Anderson got the job done.
Him and Arn Anderson. Ooh.
That's some good stuff waiting for you. Did you ever see the Sting Moment of Truth movie? That was another one that came out.
I don't think so.
It was okay. I mean, it was kind of hard to watch, though. I mean, it was.
Was it like a movie or like a documentary or?
Documentary, like movie type of thing. Like it was like a movie, but it was like a documentary about his life. So it showed his whole, his whole life throughout the movie. Kind of like Private Parts of Howard Stern, like that type of thing.
Okay.
Sting, 1996, where he essentially rips off the Crow from '93 and starts wearing the same makeup.
I remember when Sting did that, yes, but I don't like remember like the exact time when that
Yeah,
happened.
mostly more of a fan of the Crow than I was of Sting because he would never wrestle. He just hit people with a bat, and it made me very angry.
That dude died making that movie. This is crazy. Oh, who the hell is this? Sorry, fellas. Sorry. We have to kill that for right now.
That's fine. We forget.
I should have turned off the phone from the beginning. That's my fault.
Don't worry about it. We do it all the time on this thing. And you're like,
Jeez. My fault. My fault.
don't worry about it.
I forget what the hell we were talking about. I'm sorry.
A Sting and him hitting people with bats.
That's right. That's right. I don't know. I mean, I think Sting should retire now. Personally, I mean,
Yeah.
he's over the hill. He's. I mean, I don't know. They should get some of the young guys in TNA. They need to bring up. Like, I like Samoa Joe. Where the hell's he been?
Well, the problem with him is like they have no direction for the guy. He did win the belt, but no one cared by the time he got it. Like they should have put the belt on him in '06 if they wanted to do anything with him, but they totally just wasted too much time. I think he got the belt in '08, and it was just like, once again, not pulling the trigger when they're supposed to.
He's been champion 2 or 3 times, and
Yeah.
they haven't been long reigns.
He's still there, but he always kind of fades out for some reason. I haven't really watched this steadily, so I don't really.
He's still feuding with Jarrett.
Yeah.
Jarrett's still doing that stupid mixed martial arts challenge. I don't know why.
It's so uninteresting. Like, why should I care? You know?
Unless that's how they're going to bring back Bobby Lashley, and I don't even care if that happens or not.
Oh god.
That shit I heard about Jeff Jarrett. Was it true he was like dating dude's wife or something, or Kurt Angle's wife?
I think he married
They're
her.
married now.
How the fuck can Angle work with him? Like seriously, like how? Like he was working with him after that. You know what I mean? Like
It's really,
how could he do that? How?
it complicates it, you know? Like how did
I mean that's good drama for the ring, but I mean as a person, how could you do that? You know what I mean? How could you like work with that person? You know what I mean?
Do the same thing though, because he had broken up with Lita, and then he had to do a feud with Edge actually.
Who, Angle?
No, Matt Hardy. He had to go through this.
Oh yeah.
Remember when he was feuding with Edge when he first came back, and Edge had been Lita at the time?
I didn't think they were actually really like going out though.
Yeah, they were.
Oh really? Edge and Lita?
Yep.
Oh wow.
It's long, but yeah.
Damn man, see I learn shit every day.
How about that? He might be wrong. Who knows? We're never 100%. I know I'm wrong.
I'm still waiting for Val Venus to get mad at Edge for dating his sister, but that never happened.
I think Edge is actually married to his sister.
Is Val Venus still in TNA? Like, do they even use him?
He actually, I think, is with WWF now as a road agent.
What?
Here's what happened. He came in January. He fizzled out by March, and then he went to Mexico. Left Mexico, came back. I think like a month or so ago. They were using him as like a trial basis for road agent, and I don't know what they're gonna do now with him because he was a trainer before he went to TNA and WWF. That's why they kept him so long. You know, he's just like a trainer for the younger guys. But I don't know. I mean, he's probably back in WWE. I would think. Not 100% sure, but he's pretty much done with TNA, and it didn't work out. I mean, it fizzled out real quick.
Yeah, I didn't see shit of him on TNA. I seen him like in like one match, I think, dude.
Yeah, that was true fashion too of TNA. Just
hello, ladies. He was the man, dude. He was the man.
I think that's a problem though with TNA. Like they're capitalizing on things that were cool like 10, 15 years ago.
Val Venus will always.
Yeah,
be
he'll
cool.
always be cool, but like they don't have anything that's cool now. And the problem is there's been nothing created to make it cool now either. There's no other promotions. I would like to see at least 2 other big indie promotions make it, like Ring of Honor and something else, CZW or maybe like just. Like,
CZW is pretty ass. That's like senseless wrestling.
It is.
I mean, those dudes are tough. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
it's just senseless.
There's no direction there. It's just like whatever light bulb we can throw at, a person next.
I would hate to have a match like I almost sound like a Bush, but I mean, dude, all that light just going into your eyes and shit, like you know what I mean, like pieces of glass, like oh man, that would scare the hell out of me.
Someone hands me that contract, I just hand it over to the next guy because I wouldn't do it. It's just too dangerous.
My wrestling career fizzled whenever they found out I wouldn't do a ladder match because I'm afraid of heights.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all movies I can think of. Back to movies, yeah, I'm done with that. I think as a consensus, I think they all pretty much aren't good. I mean, there's maybe like 1 or 2 good wrestling movies I've seen. More documentaries are better, I think.
Yeah. What What's on to the next subject, fellas? We're gonna talk about video games. Oh shit.
Sure, if you want.
Are you guys into like old school games or
Which ones, like wrestling or other ones?
like? Oh, I mean like and Nintendo NES and like 8-bit shit.
I like a little bit. Like my brother's more a video game guy. I'm just kind of like either wrestling or some action ones.
Personal favorite, Dino Crisis 2.
Dino Crisis 2. Why can't I think of that one?
Sounds familiar.
It's from the same people
Oh,
as Resident Evil.
yeah, it wasn't on NES. That was like a fighting game, wasn't it?
PlayStation. It's PlayStation 1.
See, I'm like thinking of the game. I just can't think of like the gameplay. It wasn't like a fighting game, was it? Or was it like a first-person shooter type thing?
Picture Resident Evil and then put dinosaurs instead of zombies. So that's
Okay. Yeah, I wish I owned a PlayStation. I had the N64. I was a Nintendo dude.
Yeah.
It's like I can't turn my back on Nintendo.
See,
And the,
because here's my theory about them. Nothing was ever compatible, and they'd always change like the systems. So I was like, forget it.
No,
That was my theory.
GameCube compatible.
they evolved. Every system got better, you know.
Yeah.
I think the most underrated system is definitely the Sega Dreamcast.
Yeah,
That's
I too.
a great system.
Didn't have the budget. They spent a lot of money on the sports franchise games.
Oh,
They
yeah,
didn't have enough
PS2
for
killed them.
other developers.
Because they were great.
Their sports games were really good, though.
How long did that last for? Like a year or two? 18 months went under.
Yeah.
Wow.
They made 3 years of sports games. They made 2000 to 2002, and they were pretty much done after that.
Wow. It's a shame.
It came out with like around the PlayStation 2 time, didn't it?
Yeah, that was the problem.
GameCube.
Like,
Yeah, that was like when there was actually like 3 systems, you know, 3 like big systems. Like I never had a TurboGrafx 16 or anything like that, you know.
yeah, none of that stuff. I just had the basics. There was a lot of other accessories and things too, but after a while, it gets just like so complicated. I'm just like, oh, forget it.
Oh, I love it. I couldn't live without video games.
Yeah, amen to that. Where would we be? You know,
Where would we be without wrestling in video games?
I know it'd be the end. Well, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna sign off for now. So I'm Chris.
I'm back.
This was our wonderful guest,
Wait. You forgot
Chris
Chris.
Moran.
Yeah, gee, I can't even announce myself. Damn, dog. Flo Diesel, Chris Moreth. What up? Signing off.
Hey, plug your YouTube thing too. I can hear about your YouTube.
YouTube.com/gotflow. That's FLOW TV. Check it out. Nasty shit.
Nice. Thank you for
Subscribe.
joining us, and we'll see you again soon.
You guys be safe now.
All right.
Happy New Year.